Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Matt. No, wait. No, I'm Sam.
I'm Sam. No, I'm Matt.
God.
Oh.
This is crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's because we're wearing different colors, you know? I'm not used to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My brain's all fried and frazzled. Well, welcome, everybody, to the latest episode. Happy to be here. Happy to have you here. Got a doozy of a movie to talk about, but before we get started, is there anything, Matt, that we wanted to discuss?
Well, Sam finally caught up and listened to the new Olivia Rodrigo album.
I know, I did, you know.
So,
sorry.
What were your thoughts?
I dug it. I liked it. I don't think I've listened to her second album all that much. I remember I remember listening to it and enjoying it a lot. I listened to her first one a lot more, I think. But yeah, I don't know. Like she has good albums. I don't think she's had a bad one yet, you know?
Yeah.
This one's good because I think there was a lot more kind of like variety going on. I think she was really kind of like pushing out, you know, from kind of what she's done before. I was hoping that it would be more, you know, rockin', more angry, but I think it was like a different kind of like anger, more like a sad anger. You know, it's like sad that we're going through this, sad that I have to keep talking about this, you know. But yeah, no, I dug it. Yeah, I think it's rad.
Yeah, I anyone who's listened to the show will know that it wasn't what I wanted. I really wanted something a little heavier, a little more, just a little more rocking, you know. But I'm glad I didn't go in with those expectations because she made it clear before the album came out that like this is a sad album, you know, and it's not really rock. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. I mean, neither were the last two, you know, it's kind of pop a little. I want to say pop punk, but she was getting a little some Riot Girl vibes, especially in the second album, you know. And I was like, okay, so I was hoping we went further, but knowing that that's not the route she went ahead of time lowered my expectations. So
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with this album. Um, and I think also, you know, being a single 39-year-old straight man, like this is kind of the first album that like really hit me, you know, because
Okay.
I like the first one. I really dug the second one, but this one, like, wow, I there are some songs and some lyrics where like, yeah, this you could definitely feel this is something that someone in the early 20s wrote, or even maybe a little younger. But then there's a lot of other songs and lyrics where it still hits. You're like, oh no,
Mm.
this is just like this kind of transcends age. Like I think a lot of people can resonate with some of these songs, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
it really kind of just like it's like a knife, like under the rib. Just you know, just perfectly in there, and I'm like, man,
Like which song specifically do you think does that?
all of them.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think unfortunately, I feel like she's at her best when she's heartbroken.
Mm.
So I think Begged hits hard. So
Yeah,
does
that one was rough.
I think it's just called Less
Okay.
or
Yeah,
Lesser.
yeah.
No, Less. Yeah, because I wish you loved me. I wish you had loved me less.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that one stung, and then the it's not my favorite, but it's a great way to end the album with Cigarette Smoke and
Mm.
how it touches back on. Dude, even the other ones like Honeybee, and I'm like, damn, this is so damn emotional. Stop it. It's too good. But yeah, so Drop Dead grew on me. When it
Mm.
came out, I was like, all right, it's a Olivia Rodrigo song. You know,
Hmm.
whatevs. But then with this album, and I think especially with the context of having all the songs, I'm like, it's hitting like that song ranks higher now for me. I'm like, I
Hmm.
really enjoy Drop Dead a lot more. I
Okay.
still think my favorite one is The Cure.
Yeah, that one's mine for sure.
Um, and then Stupid Song is probably right under that one.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
ah. So, but I've been watching a lot of reactions. I've been watching like some reviews, and it's really interesting because a lot of I think younger people are a little
Hmm.
more divided over this album.
Okay.
And I think I could kind of see their points here and there, but they find some of the lyrics a little cringy, to use their
Mm.
words.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just like, man, but to me that's kind of what the vibe, that's kind of what she's just singing about love, and that's what it is, We're
Hmm.
like, you don't feel that it's cringy,
Hmm.
This is love for you. And that's kind of another theme of the whole album, like how love doesn't feel the way you think it's going to feel,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Um, and I think it's very telling that that just because of scheduling or whatever, we're talking about this album today in front of this movie as
Hmm.
opposed to last week, when
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
ready, but we just didn't have enough time. Uh, so yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of people kind of just crapping on the song Purple, which I'm like, yeah, the lyrics seem a little simple maybe,
Yeah.
but also like I don't know, and the whole structure, like that's like the turning point of the album. And I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think on the actual vinyl, it's the
Hmm.
end of side A.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And because that's the point where like Olivia Rodrigo finally uh what's the word I'm looking for? Not takes responsibility, but like that's the first song where, because like the first half of the album is about this relationship and you can kind of see the cracks forming, but that's the song where she kind of throws it back on her. Like,
Mm.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
she's not blaming anyone else.
Yeah.
And then and then right after that is The Cure, and that starts the second half, which is all just like in the relationship, it's all downhill from that
Hmm.
point,
Hmm.
all the way through the ending. And I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, so it kind of, I hear all these people just, talking crap about Purple, but I'm like, ah, but that's like that's the cliffhanger, that's like the
Yeah.
turning point. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of quaint that it does seem maybe a little juvenile the way the lyric just the lyrics she uses, and she's comparing things to colors and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but that's the one where like she actually makes that turn.
Yeah.
And there's a review, I didn't read it, but the title was we're watching Olivia Rodrigo's frontal lobes form right in front of our eyes.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
She's
ah,
becoming self-aware.
I'm
I
like,
was like, that's kind of
okay.
mean, man.
That's
That's kind of
rude.
mean.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, this album is leagues more mature than the last two.
Mm. Yeah.
And I think that's also why it's resonating with of a lot of people, um, but also like a lot more people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this album, from the reviews I'm seeing anyway, it's really hitting a lot of people kind of hard. And they're like, wow, this is really good.
Hmm.
Whereas before it was always like, that's really good for like what you're doing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we talked about it in the past. It's easy to compare Olivia Rodrigo to other musicians her age or pop stars, because that's kind of the closest comparison. There's no one else really doing what she's doing. So we
Hmm.
kind of lob her into that group. Because like musically, her and Sabrina Carpenter are completely different,
Yeah.
but kind of in the industry and as a genre, we kind of throw them into the same group, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so this one really feels like she's kind of breaking out. She's doing her own thing. She's already talked about how uh, she's looking forward to the next album because just it takes so long to make these that by the
Hmm.
time it comes out, like she's kind of over it, you know? And
I can
like
feel that. Yeah.
I don't know all the goss, Sam, all the tea, but like
Okay.
she was working on this album and it was supposed to be about love and it's about the whole album is a full relationship from start to end.
Mm.
And at the end, she actually went through like a pretty bad breakup. So
Hmm.
she went back with her producer and started tweaking some of the songs.
Mm.
And she said she also made some of them a little more creepier just because she wanted to see those cracks. And she
Okay.
says Purple was probably the biggest one because Purple was a love song. And then so she changed it to what it is
Mm.
now.
Dang.
It's a love song, but it's written from the perspective of already having broken up, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
oh damn. So like I don't even know what that original album looked like, you know?
Yeah, that's wild.
Because I mean, I guess the concept was the same, but now she was actually like living it
Yeah.
again, you know, or more fresh. But I was like, damn. So all in all, I really dug it. Not all the songs hit for me, but a lot of
Hmm.
them did. Uh, and even some of the ones I didn't really enjoy, they're still kind of catchy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I still enjoy them anyway. Um, but yeah, and then I can't get expectations has been in my head for days. And I'm just like I will say if I'm going to say have any complaints, I'm disappointed with the song with her Robert Smith. I'm not really I
Mm.
wasn't a big fan of it, you
Yeah.
know. I was kind of I had high hopes for it. I'm just like, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, yeah. But yeah, man. I love it. It has a little. It feels a little bit of a. We talked about this with the Cure, but it feels a little. There's a little Foo Fighters in there.
Hmm.
The album has a little Fleetwood Mac, a little
Yeah.
Devo, a little. I don't know. One of those songs kind of reminded me of America. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was just. I don't know. It's just really cool. I'm
It
really excited to
like
see what she does next.
it's really interesting because it's like she's I like that you said that like this is her most mature album, and I think you can kind of tell how like here you can hear the influences, and she's not necessarily like
Hmm.
shying away from those influences, but
Hmm.
she is like attuning them to what she's doing and like dialing them into what she's doing,
Hmm.
and I like that, I think that's I don't know. I think that's growth,
Sure.
as an artist, and
Yeah.
yeah, like sure, like she's still young, so like she's gonna do, hopefully she has a very long career ahead of her,
Right.
so yeah, I'm excited to see what she does next, but yeah, all in all, I was I was very pleased with how this album came out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Uh, yeah. So we'll see, man. I would love to go to that concert she's throwing.
Oh
It's called
man.
Daisy Chain or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, dude, like the band list is incredible. So, um,
Yeah, Daisy Chain Fields. That's what it's
Daisy
called.
Chain Fields.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. All proceeds go to female fronted or female focused charities. Uh yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia right here. It says all tracks 1 through 7 are grouped under "Girl So in Love," while
Mm.
tracks 8 through 13 are grouped under "You Seem Pretty Sad."
Mm.
So it's like, okay, yeah, right on. Um, that's cool, man.
There you go.
Uh, yeah. So now I'm just waiting because she's gonna drop a like Target exclusive edition with like extra tracks because she did that for the first two.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, we'll see. I need a record player, dude.
Mm.
I've been just like the past 2 years, I've really been thinking about it, but like, I don't really have space to collect vinyl, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's the thing,
But, and I'm thinking like, I would only save it for like the albums I could really, really love. But this past year and last year, actually, the past 2.5 years, I'm like, dude, like my favorite albums of the year, are like some of my favorite albums ever, you know.
Mm,
I was like, man, there's some good stuff. So
yeah.
I need storage and a record player.
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
need.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's all anybody needs, Matt. You
That's all
know,
we need.
you just put them on the wall, you know? You just
Yeah.
clear one of your walls and you just start at the top and keep going until you fill up the
Hmm.
whole wall with record. You don't have any pets, so you don't have
Yeah,
anything to worry
exactly.
about. Yeah.
Exactly.
Our
I
cats broke our record player, so
oh, damn it.
uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an investment. I'm not very
There you go.
materialistic. I just that vinyls and a record player. That's all I need.
You're not very materialistic. Are you
I
sure
don't
about
know.
that?
Do you think I am? As someone outside of my life, Sam, outside looking in on me as my brother, do you think I'm materialistic?
A little bit. Not
Like how so? What do you think like I need like materialistic wise?
Well, okay, like right there, you're like, yeah, I don't need a record player, like I don't, it's like okay, like
Yeah.
there's that. But I don't know. I feel like there's something else. There's something that like you're like I can't have this. So to hell with it. Like I don't know, like there's something about you that is very like you know what you want and you don't want to settle for anything less.
Okay. Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know?
can see that for sure.
Yeah,
But I don't really spend money on things. Like I'll treat myself,
sure. Yeah,
but
yeah.
like I don't collect anything. I do think I wouldn't say I would collect vinyls, but I would go buy all the albums I really loved, you
Mm,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe materialistic like value. So that's a whole other
Oh,
discussion,
oh boy. Yeah,
like
yeah.
I it's not the materialistic goods, maybe it's the materialistic things I look in others, which is something they touch on in this movie.
Yeah, quite a
Um,
bit.
geez, I wish there was like a test. Let's
A
see how
materialist
materialistic
test.
you are. Yeah, yeah,
That's what they should have done with this movie. They should have,
they should.
put it out there, like how materialist are you?
Dude, I always see the commercials on YouTube where it's just a guy sitting there in tears, and it just says like there's no words, it's just like font, and he's like,
Mhm.
I always thought I was super loving. Turns out I'm a egotistical narcissist. It's like I took this test and it told me everything wrong with me. I'm
Is
like,
are
oh
those
my
are those the
God.
kind of ads they're putting on YouTube?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Find out what your trauma is. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Absolutely not.
I thought I just loved too hard.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
No, sorry. I guess my toxic trait is that we pay for YouTube Premium because there's no way. And there's absolutely no way. I don't want to deal with that.
yeah, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
See,
for those
dude,
of you listening,
I don't mind ads because I'm not a materialist.
mm, ads like
Or I'm
ad
just a cheapskate.
I think that's more of what it is. You're like, no, I don't want to pay for this.
I'm
I
not
don't want to
paying
pay more.
$40 a month.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which is like, hey man,
Jeez.
like I like that's why like YouTube Premium is like one of the only places where we don't have ads,
Yeah.
but all
Dude,
the
there's
other,
I think even Amazon, it's like the basic one still has ads, even though you're
yeah,
paying for it. Like I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell,
absolutely.
dude? So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, even now Netflix, like the basic one, they put ads on there. So it's like
Nope. Tubi for life. I'm
Tubi
gonna
still
get
has ads.
well, yeah, I know, but it's free, so I don't care.
Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
there
get
you
a
go.
tattoo of Pluto TV right over my heart. Dude, you got Star Trek. They have the 100, even though I have the Blu-ray. I'm just like,
Mm,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Classic Top Gear. I'm like, oh, I'm set. Martha
Dang.
Stewart 24/7. I'm like, dude.
Wow.
And let's not forget my personal favorite,
Uh-huh.
The Amazing Race 24/7.
Okay, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I'll put it on when I go to bed. I'm just like, oh, I dream about running around the world doing challenges.
Yeah.
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 I love that.
That's all I need. That's
That's
all
all
I
you
need.
need. Yeah.
Yeah. just a
And in that
scavenger hunt
respect,
across the planet.
and
Yeah.
in that respect, how materialist is that? You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
everybody, in case you haven't figured it out yet, Matt
We're
and I have
talking
said
about the
the
amazing
word like,
race.
yeah, we're talking about the Amazing Race. We've only said the word like 20,000 times already. We are talking
Hmm.
about Materialists, the A24 film from writer-director Celine Song, her
Hmm.
sophomore effort, starring Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Uh, before we get any further, Matt, what'd you think? What'd you think of the movie?
Um, I loved it, man.
Hmm.
It's a really it's a heartbreaking uh punch to the gut, kind of like getting stabbed right underneath the rib cage.
Like Olivia Rodrigo's
Just
album.
like Olivia
Okay.
Rodrigo's album.
Okay, okay.
Uh yeah, I was kind of thinking like this is a very interesting take. I understand why this movie isn't for everyone. Uh it's got like a 2.9 rating on Letterboxd.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read any reviews though, but like I can get it. Also, I know we're gonna talk about the trailers as well.
Mm-hmm.
They really kind of pitched this as like a rom-com, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
find anything comedy about this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
to me, this it's kind of like a dark mirror of 500 Days of Summer. Like, it's
I kind
kind
of
of a
got
good
that
companion
vibe. Yeah.
piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's two opposites perspectives on love. Where
Mm-hmm.
500 Days is about the expectations of love that we're bombarded with through TV and music and Hallmark cards, and in realizing it's in reality it's nothing like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
this is almost the opposite, where it's like just for survival and comfort and ease of living, what are you willing to give up?
Mm-hmm.
How much of love are you willing to sell for comfort? you
Yeah.
know and yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking, man. Like, I did kind of, I was hoping to get a little more deep. I was expecting to like really like feel something.
Mm-hmm.
This movie didn't make me cry, but I was kind of hoping, I was expecting this is where we're going. There was some elements of this movie that really hit me hard, but yeah, I thought it was good. It's a very uncomfortable topic because it is about money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we live in we live in a society.
That's
We
2 weeks in a
live
row we've said that.
2 weeks in a row, but we live in a capitalist society, yet it's still really frowned upon to talk about money, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and that's a big part of this movie. So I get why people didn't like it. I did. I really resonate. If I'm anyone in in this movie, I relate to Chris Evans a lot.
Uh-huh.
Especially as he's playing a 37-year-old. I'm like,
I'm
come
like, oh,
on, man.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Also, you're struggling? You? Come on. With
right. I was
that
like, yeah.
face?
Well,
No.
it's funny too that like when we actually see him we act, it's just really quick and it's weird. So
I,
like I don't
yeah.
know if like maybe he is a good actor, but it's just the material he was given, because that's a very realistic
Hmm.
kind of portrayal. It's just like, I can be doing more than this. I
Hmm.
don't want to sound ungrateful, but I should be doing more than this. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I have been called out. It's been a long time, but I have been called out before on uh my, I guess, troubles, or my I guess, how do I explain it? I've been called out before on my the way I approach my money issues,
Mm.
especially when I was acting,
Okay.
especially when I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was really kind of struggling uh because that's when it's like almost impossible to date, you know?
Mm.
And
Yeah, yeah.
um yeah, and I think I was very hard on myself and I was very just pessimistic on everything because of that. You know, it's like constantly walking under like a rain cloud. And I didn't realize it until I got called out on, so I'm glad my friend did call me out on it, but I was inadvertently judging other people's financial choices and kind of judging them and I don't want to say picking on them, but like I like almost as if I was calling them out, like, oh wow, you're gonna go do that. Oh wow, you can afford that,
Oh.
that kind of thing, And it's just like, and I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
realize I was doing it. I'm like, oh, and it's when I kind of stopped, I'm like, oh crap, you're right. I'm like, and that's totally on me, I don't need a therapist to tell me. It was like, oh yeah,
For
that's
sure.
that's my issue. So a lot of that really hit, especially that scene where the flashback where they're fighting in the middle of the street. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, and now that I'm 39, so this is way past that moment for me in time. And
Hmm.
now I'm, reevaluating everything and I'm also feel like in a big way, like I'm starting over. Everything I tried up to this point didn't work, and it's like I feel like I'm starting over, and
Mm.
that's really terrifying, you know. And it's like, oh man, like there's so much according to our world that I have was supposed to accomplish by this point, and I'm starting from scratch,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of that, and I am uh not that I'm really putting value on it, but I am watching my net worth, because
Hmm.
I'm at that point where like, damn, I can't believe I still have loans I'm paying off, but also certain parts of it, like, oh, I'm paying them off,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
very much on my mind, like what is the value of my life? Not to
Yeah.
that degree, but after watching this movie, it's like, yeah, you kind of, whether you mean to or not, that's kind of what you're doing. Like what am I worth? What is my value? You know?
Yeah.
And so a lot of this movie really hit uh hard. And as far as I think it did a good job, I think it's very secluded in its story. Like it
Mm.
you're either in this world or you're not.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
financial stuff I can relate to, but it's really hard when you do like the whole dating aspect and you add that into it. Um, but also that's the thing of like all of these people in this movies, they're in their 30s, maybe 40s.
Hmm.
And like me personally, I don't have a lot of experience watching films about people in their quote unquote later years trying to find love or trying to date, especially
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that's very realistic like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I've spent this whole time just talking about what the movie's about and that I really like what it's about.
Hmm.
Is it actually a good movie? I thought so. I enjoyed it.
Mm.
I enjoyed the acting choices. Um, I think Dakota Johnson was like the perfect cast for this because she just naturally seems kind of cold
Cold.
and distant, and
Yeah.
I think that really fit her character.
I think so too.
Um, and I think Pedro Pascal was perfect because he genuinely seems like a good guy, you
Hmm.
know. And then I love his final scene in the movie where you actually see some of his vulnerabilities.
Hmm.
And in a lot of ways, he kind of seems like he's the most level-headed person in this movie,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
Just his viewpoints and stuff, and still at the end, just kind of like all of them, he's selling himself short. He doesn't
Hmm.
realize that he's not actually in love. You know, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was good.
Hmm.
I thought it was fine.
Hmm.
Uh, I yeah, I it should it feels like it feels moot to even like bring it up, but like because I feel like every movie that comes out now just it has one discourse going against it or another, you know.
Hmm.
And I remember that this movie was like dividing audiences and stuff, and I'm like, what, like, like, why? Is it because of who she chooses? And it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's part of it. Like that is kind of an issue. Um, so like I was kind of just I was going in with like that in mind that like, okay, like I know this is divisive, but like I really just want to like take it for what it's doing, you know,
Hmm.
like what's going on here. Um, and like my thing is that, you know, yeah, I think everybody's doing a good job, but I don't think they're written particularly well. I don't think they're very deep. You know, they're
Mm.
not
Hmm.
they are exactly who they say they are, and they don't really portray themselves, or there's nothing that really comes up that like is contrary to that. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like Dakota Johnson says it a couple of times about herself. I'm judgmental. I'm not perfect. This wouldn't be a good
Hmm.
match. And there's nothing in the movie that ever like refutes that statement. You know,
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal is perfect. He's a unicorn, you know?
Hmm.
And then by that token, it's like, well, he's kind of boring then because there's nothing really going on
Yeah.
here, you know? Um, I think, I think, I think in a large issue that needs to be brought up is that this was billed initially, this was billed as just like a romantic drama.
Hmm.
Like that very first trailer that came out, it's exactly what you would expect from like an A24. It's like
Hmm.
we've had it for a while. They're like, this is how A24 does horror, right?
Yeah.
So when you see that A24 logo pop up in the trailer, you're like, oh, this is how A24 does romance. I'm like, oh,
Well, I
okay,
remember when the
like
trailer came out, a
rad.
lot of people were saying they're like, we were waiting for the twist. Like we thought this was going to be a horror movie.
Oh,
Like, what
oh,
year
okay.
was this?
I get this was
2025?
yeah, last year I think.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people were saying like I don't know the history of A24, but
Hmm.
I think maybe at this point they had only done mostly horror because a lot of people were saying when it came out, they're like, "Oh, we were waiting for like the twist." Like,
No, which is interesting because I'm like, yeah, I we don't have to get into the history of them, but like, I guess
mhm.
they are pretty synonymous with like their horror movies,
At least their
you
most
know.
popular films are for sure.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like they, you know, they did the Brutalist, they did the Iron Claw, you know, which was just like at this
Oh
point like
wow.
2 years ago, you know, so
Hmm.
this would have those would have been before, you know, Materialists came out. So like
Mm.
they also do drama, you know,
Hmm.
um, and a lot of their earlier stuff too was a lot of like indie stuff. You know, I think they did mid 90s, you know, Jonah Hill's, you know, skater kind of flick.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, like they're not just horror, but that is kind of like what what made their name. Um,
Right.
you know, but I guess like when I first saw that first trailer, I was like, oh, this is how they're gonna do like an adult romance. You know, they're gonna do
Hmm.
a grown up movie. You know, like free of the blood, free of like sci-fi or whatever. It's like they're doing like a romantic drama.
Hmm.
So I was excited. I didn't see any of the other trailers that came out. So when people started talking
Um,
about it as like a rom-com, I just kind of assumed that like, oh, we're like we the audience are bringing that expectation to a movie because we're so uh forgive the parlance, we're so touch starved as a
mhm.
society, you know, that like even in our movie choices, it's like, well, what are we gonna go watch? Well, we can either go watch the latest Marvel movie, or we can go watch the heady, gritty, broody sci-fi that's out, you know,
Mm.
or a Jason Statham movie. It's like, no, like we're looking for romance. Like we say it
Mhm.
every single year. Like people are looking for romances, they're looking for comedies. So when this movie came out, I feel like everybody rushed to go see it because it's like, yeah, it's pretty people telling each other they're in love with each other. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go watch that too. I saw after watching the movie, I saw the other two trailers though. I They really played into an aspect that this movie just is not. Those
Yeah.
especially that last trailer, the last trailer that came out, build this as a rom-com, like a mid
Yeah.
2000s rom-com. And I think that's what killed this movie. And I think that's what pissed people off. And that's why people don't like this movie. I
Yeah.
I am railing against this movie because I think it's generic and I think it's a little
Hmm.
boring and I think it doesn't really have as much to say as it thinks it does,
Hmm.
you know? But now I have to defend it because it's like the movie isn't a rom-com.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you're going in with that expectation, that's false. Like somebody did you wrong,
Sure.
but yeah, like on
That
its
comes down to the advertising, and like I completely agree. When you sent me those
yeah.
trailers, I'm like, oh wow, that's not this movie at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah.
like this yeah, it's crazy.
As far
Um
as though, like I'm completely okay with it being generic and a little boring because to me that's kind of the whole point. That's the vibe. Like you're
sure.
choosing something superficial,
Hmm.
over love. And
Yeah.
that's what I feel like is perfect. Like I think Pedro Pascal's supposed to be a boring character, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
for sure.
and that's why I'm okay with it. That's why I think it works and it's okay, it's um I don't know, it's sure I can say yeah, maybe it doesn't have as much to say as it thinks it does, but I think it did its job and I think that uncomfortable almost sterile feeling that the movie has is the way you're supposed to feel.
Hmm.
This is what these people's lives feel like,
Yeah.
I think it's very, I mean, look at your background. It's the apartment. There's a $12 million apartment,
Hmm.
and then when I don't even remember the main character's name. What's her name?
Lucy.
Jules? Lucy. Well, Lucy wakes up and she's looking around and Pedro Pascal, whatever his name was, he made her breakfast, but he's on the phone the whole time,
Yeah.
and he gives her the keys, and it's like, wow. And he just kisses her and he walks out, but he's never gets off the phone. It's little
Hmm.
things like that. I'm like, yeah, that's the movie. That sums it up.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
even beforehand where they're like making out, after their date,
uh
like in between bouts of making out, she's just oogling his apartment, It's like, wow, look how big the ceilings are, It's like, yeah, I get it. Like
yeah,
that's what the
that
movie is,
like that's cute, but I'll say the next scene when after they're in bed and or they're still in bed and she just looks up and she's like, how much does this place cost? And he's like, 12 million. And then her
Hmm.
response is just, oh, he's like, do you like it? Her response is just, she just shrugs. I'm like, yeah, that's the movie. That's the relationship. That's what they're signing up for,
Yeah.
And that's why I was cool with it. So I feel like this movie deliberately goes out of its way to make the audience feel like a shrug. So in that
Yeah.
respect, like I'm okay with that, and I think it also plays into the cinematography. I thought the cinematography was very dynamic.
Mm.
There's a lot of one takes, a lot of long takes, a lot of
Hmm.
wide shots. There's some conversations where the camera is a lot further than we're used to for some of these intimate scenes, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's all in the vibe of selling us something that like this is their lives. This is what they're signing up for. But then it starts switching in that final act when they go upstate and they go to the wedding,
Mm.
and things start becoming more intimate. So I'm like, we're like, I, I'm kind of praising its genericness. I'm like, I think it's taking what we've been trained with rom-coms our whole lives, and
Hmm.
it's weaponizing it against us, you know?
Mm.
So I don't know. That's the way I took it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like a deconstruction of the genre almost.
See, but I disagree because I I disagree because it's like, okay, but we still kind of get the rom-com happy ending, you know?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and like here's what I told Kat. I told Kat that like this this movie feels like a book that would get misplaced in the romance section, but
Mhm.
belongs in general fiction.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know,
Yeah.
it's that thing from 500 Days of Summer. It's like this is about love, but it's not a love story. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how
Mm-hmm.
this movie feels to me. It's like this movie
Mm-hmm.
is all about love, but I don't necessarily think it's a love story. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what these people are trying to figure out. Like they're trying to do all this stuff, but
Yeah.
I never get that because I don't think they're written in a particular way that's like that makes me really like care if these people find love in each other or not, you know?
Right.
Um I so much so that like, I guess kind of like people, that you said were waiting for the twist in the trailer. It's like I was kind of waiting for a twist at the end,
Mm-hmm.
because we spent so much time having, Lucy tell us and tell others that like I'm not perfect. You don't want a relationship with me, all
Yeah.
this stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, and that's stuff that like, we've heard before from other protagonists and in
Mm-hmm.
other books and movies and all that. But like she spends so much of the movie like telling people that, not necessarily like going through any sort of like shift or change herself really.
Mm.
That by the end of the movie, it's like, okay, cool. They have her and Chris Evans kiss outside of her ex-client's apartment, after the whole
Yeah.
stalking thing, which I do want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like cool when they profess their love for each other, like great. It got to a point where like, okay, so she's talking about like the little caveman analogy, first caveman getting married, and then we see Chris Evans, going to buy food at the cart, and then he's walking into the park. I was almost half expecting like kind of like when we first see all three of our characters at the wedding, like we first see Chris Evans, he's in the background, and then
Mm-hmm.
he like comes into frame like behind those two, and like, oh, that's how he knows she's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was half expecting at the very end, as she's like giving this analogy about love and what it actually means, I was half expecting Chris Evans to walk into the park. We then see Dakota Johnson like coming out from behind that bridge, talking on the phone with her boss, that like, oh, she's going to be CEO of her company now.
Mm-hmm.
I was half expecting that she was going to stop and look across the park and she was going to see Chris Evans with somebody else.
Mm.
That's how superficial and like
Mm.
kind of cold this movie is to me, that like
Yeah.
I don't buy it. Like we're just telling, we're just kind of like standing here telling each other that like I love you and like this is
I
what you mean to
yeah.
me and all that. It's like,
I
yeah.
I I I can I guess the issue is so much of this movie is telling us that they're in love
And it's not showing us.
instead of showing us exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's that ending is still on theme with everything else. It's I don't know. It's a happy ending, but is it? Like what is the movie trying to get us to think or to say? What's the movie trying to say? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like their arc is essentially taking a risk, taking that leap of faith, and it's just
Yeah,
like
sure.
oh, okay, we don't know if this is a good idea or not. And that's the way the movie ends, us not really knowing, you know?
Hmm.
Um even if it's said in a loving, jestful way, that last line of Chris Evans is like, "Do you want to make a terrible financial decision with me?"
Hmm.
And he gives her like the flower ring, and I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, like cute moment, but like that's a good point.
Yeah.
Especially if you're vibing with the rest of the movie, it's like, yeah. So I don't know. I definitely see what you're saying, but at the same time, you were just saying how this movie is not what the trailers was selling. It's something
Hmm.
else. but I feel like the ending of the movie aligns with that. Like this isn't your rom-com ending. I think it has elements of it of like it is a quote unquote happy ending, but like
Yeah.
this ending fits with this movie and this, I don't know, messaging, you know. They're like,
Yeah.
finally, for once, we're not doing the math on this. We're gonna
Yeah.
try it. And I don't know. It's still a very maybe dark's the wrong word, but it is like a dark theming, messaging,
Hmm.
ending. It's just I hope they work out those two characters,
Yeah.
and we don't know if it is or is it, but I mean I guess that's kind of the whole arc. It's basically just, do we say screw the math and we just do it anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think this is perfect by any means. Um,
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad movie, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I just came away from it very like cold. Like, okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Like, cool. Glad I watched it. You know, I love the end credits. That, like, honestly,
yeah.
the end credits might be my favorite part of the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is nice. I love
I
this.
came I came away from it cold too, but I feel like that's what I was supposed to do, you know?
Well, maybe I don't want that, man. Maybe I don't want to come away from my romance feeling cold,
Well,
you
sure,
know?
neither do I. But I'm
Yeah.
like, if then I'll just go watch I'll close my eyes and pick a random romantic comedy online. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this one is very particular. It's very niche,
Hmm.
which is not what the trailer sold,
No.
and I get that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I I don't know what else to say. Like it worked for me. It worked on me, and it checked
Mm.
a lot of my boxes. From
Ah.
my financial history to my current almost spreadsheet like way I'm analyzing and critiquing my life.
Mm.
Now I don't think I'm as bad as this when it comes to looking for a partner. Like I need this, I need that, I need, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That was horrible, but I'm like it was so funny because it was so terrible. But at the same time, like, dude, this is so real. Like this is
Yeah.
the issue. This is millennial dating right here. You know,
Hmm.
that was some of my favorite scenes. The actual conversations with the clients. You
Yeah.
know, and that one guy's like, um, I like so and so's, lifestyle and the things she likes to do, and then I like
Hmm.
so and so's
Actual
body,
style,
yeah, and then like so and so's like how
taste in
her job
movies.
and how much
Yeah.
money she's making.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
just have that all in one? And
Yeah.
in fact, I think Lucy was the best matchmaker in that middle act when she started to get fed up with it.
Hmm.
When she starts saying like, we can't customize. These are real people,
Yeah.
they're more than just boxes. It's like, and oh, what's that line she has? It's like,
She's like,
and
and you're not a catch
you're not a catch,
because you're not a
you're not a
fish.
fish. And I was like, oh, that's good. That is good. I
I was
really
like,
liked it.
yeah. I was like, honestly, yeah. I like
The
that.
hopeful side of me hopes that she takes that job, that she becomes a CEO,
Mm.
because I feel like that's what that company needs. That's what the matchmaker or matchmaking needs. In her own kind of weird, screwed up way, she realizes that all the math is for naught if there's
Hmm.
no love in there.
Yeah.
And that's what the matchmakers are providing or they can't provide. So
Hmm.
that's why I'm hopeful. Like we see her thought process throughout the movie and we see her journey, and I'm hoping that she takes that job, because I think that's where she would really start to excel when she does become the unofficial therapist, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the non-materialist ending, That would be like the completing of the circle. It's just like, yeah, these are things you need and you want and you look for,
Hmm.
but at the same time, what are you bringing to the table?
Hmm.
Two, you got to understand that balance,
Hmm.
especially and this is just kind of overall in general. I feel like the older you get, yes, the higher expectations you may have, but
Hmm.
also like there needs to be kind of understanding, like, all right, what do oh geez, to to use a materialist term,
Uh-huh.
we're all depreciating assets. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like that's what we got to understand, and that what I think the last client we see, she's like, I'm 40 something or whatever, and I deserve this,
Hmm.
and she's like, no, you don't. Nobody deserves all of this, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, dude, that was so good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's the 39-year-old single guy's perspective, you
Mm.
know? I just like, yeah, that's a cold side that I hope I never have to experience for myself. But I definitely
Yeah.
get it. I definitely get
Yeah.
it.
No, I get
So,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Hmm. I think you just love too hard, Sam.
I do. That's my problem, you know? You know? That's gotten me, as far as it has, in good and bad ways, So, I mean, look, this isn't me saying that like I disagree with like I mean, it was hard watching this movie for me because it
Hmm.
was just showing me that like, man, yeah, like all these people suck. Like it is just ticking boxes and like we've commodified, and like we're talking about these people that we're trying to set up as like clients and like, well, what are her
Hmm.
assets? Like, what is this? What is that? It's disgusting to see these men being just like, yeah, I'm almost
Hmm.
I'm almost 40. I'm almost 40, and I can't,
That
I
one
got like I
guy,
want somebody who's like into older stuff and blah blah blah.
more
It's like,
mature.
yeah, more mature, and then he won't date somebody
He's
in
like,
their
how about
30s.
31? Uh,
No.
no, no, no. He's
No.
like, even 29 is pushing it.
Is pushing
Uh,
it. I'm like,
and
that's gross.
and then
That's
he even
disgusting.
says, I just get along with 20-year-olds better, or women
Hmm.
in 20s better. I'm like, oh my God,
I'm
dude.
like, that's gross and disgusting.
Um,
Uh,
I we need to talk to friends of the pod, Mickey and Amy, because they both
mhm.
love this movie.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to hear what their take is on it.
Hmm.
Um, because they've been married for a decade, a while.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
what, 5 years already?
It'll be 6 years in December. Yeah.
Dang, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Also,
Yeah.
like just the way,
Is the math right on
like I don't know, dating is different everywhere, both by age and location. So like I don't know, I was not really dating during my New York tenure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like that was college. That was college dating. That's a whole different beast, you
Yeah.
know? So like I don't know, like has it always been like this in New York? Because there tends to be more I don't know, rich people all crammed into one area.
Mm.
Also, I think New York tends to, I don't know, I'm kind of generalizing here. I've always got the vibe that New York is very fast paced,
Mm.
different from, for sure here, a lot different from LA. It's like New York is like nonstop. So I could understand if you have the money and you're lonely, I could understand that urge to go to a matchmaker,
Yeah.
because even going like on the dating apps, that still takes a lot of time and energy. And it's like, especially the older you get, and it's just like, I don't got time for that shit.
Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah. No, for
someone
sure.
professional who knows what they're doing, to get to bring someone into my life.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that's like a specific New York thing or what, but like that's a very specific niche population of people who are dating this way.
Yeah.
I've heard of a lot of other people, and again, this I feel like this is a very materialistic millennial type of dating and maybe falling in love.
Hmm.
Uh, Completely different from a lot of other dating horror stories I've heard about millennials and now like what's next? Gen Z, right? Is that
Hmm.
after millennials? Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's a whole different terrifying thing, but it still feels just as cold and clinical, you know.
Mm.
Uh I'm not Gen Z, but everyone's telling me apparently also it's been a long time since I've really been in the dating world, but
Hmm.
everyone's saying now, and I may have talked to some people who, they have returned to dating after some time, and they're all saying the same thing. They're like, it's crazy, especially with people younger than us, because now it's kind of more socially acceptable to date multiple people at once. And it's just like
Mm. Yeah.
you're just they're all serious. They're all looking for that one person, and
Hmm.
that's why they have multiple options. And they're like
Yeah.
that, and that's completely different from,
How like
when I was in
we
my
were brought up.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's unheard of. I'm like,
Yeah. It's like, no,
oh,
you're dating multiple people. You're cheating,
I'm gonna get in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just it's wild.
it also depends, like, like what circles these people are into. Like, because I know that like within the queer
Yeah,
community, that's a lot more socially acceptable than it is with
yeah.
like with straight people.
Mm.
Um but yeah, I mean yeah, yeah, I get that. I know we're running out of time. I wanted to ask you
Uh-oh.
Sophie's subplot.
Ooh, the actress who plays Sophie,
Killed it.
dude,
Best
she
performer of the movie.
absolutely killed it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, oh, the
yeah.
way she portrays her pain and that trauma, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa,
Zoe
whoa.
Winters, 5 stars for you. All right.
Yeah,
Like you knocked it out of the park.
yeah.
That being
I I
said,
I don't know. I wasn't expecting that. Um, I wasn't really expecting this film to go that dark.
yeah,
But I mean, I don't know. It's really interesting because I can't help but compare this movie to Hitch,
I was
which
just
is
talking about
the
Hitch. Yeah.
only other matchmaking film I've seen. That shoot, what
Yeah.
was that, 20 years at least?
It
You
has
know,
to be. Yeah.
and that has the exact same subplot, but
Hmm.
it's they take that subplot serious, but it is kind of more brush to side than this one. Like this one, like we sit in it,
Yeah.
and it was just like, oh
Yeah.
wow.
Also,
Um,
also like my biggest gripe
mhm,
with this, but one, I think we've talked about it, where it's like I it's a like look, this is a very hard subject matter, it's like she's
sure, yeah.
sexually assaulted, and it's like as as a writer, I I don't like I don't like that as like a trope. I don't like
Sure.
that as a thing, where it's just like we need some kind of tension, like, or this character needs some kind of like traumatic past. Well, what happened? Sexual assault, something like that. My
Yeah.
gripe with this movie is that it is such a harrowing topic, and it is so, like Sophie's sitting in it, like she's grappling with this.
Hmm.
uh the movie is not interested in her. The movie
Mm.
is interested in Lucy, and that entire subplot is only meant to affect Lucy. Lucy is the only one who comes away with that, it's her, like she's the one who's struggling with it, for the most part. She's
Yeah.
unraveling, and she gets to have the fun lighthearted conversation with the men at the beginning of the movie about their matchmaking, but then
Hmm.
after she hears about Sophie's assault, she's the one critiquing and berating all of these women for their choices, and like, well, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect system. We can't just create people. and yeah, like she's like, yeah, that's my
I
thing, you know.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like it's not Sophie's movie, you know? And like, could
Then
this
why include
story
this subplot at all then? Like I feel like you could do something different and
I mean,
still
that's their choice. I mean, that's the thing. Like, um, maybe they could have done it in a way that was maybe maybe they could have done something different but still had the same like results. But I mean, I don't know. I understand what you're saying about not liking it as a trope, but at the same time, I'm hesitant to say like that means I never want to see any movie where that's just on the side. That's either the main story or not in there at all,
well,
you know?
but like of all the things that you could do to have you like to include in your movie and to, especially what, we're trying to build all of these people is like this fun, lighthearted rom-com, and then to go into this movie
Are
and
we
have to
though?
deal with, that's what the trailers did, bro.
I
The
don't care about the
trailers were telling us
trailers. I
that.
don't care
No,
about the trailers. Neither
but
does
I
the
do.
director.
But
Neither
I
does the
do.
director.
Look,
That's the thing. Like nowhere in this movie, like we both said, we didn't see the rom com in this at all. And like,
sure.
I think that's more of a slight on the advertising again. Like, yeah, like I thought it was very weird that those trailers portrayed her as a rom com, especially knowing some of those things.
Hmm.
And it was jarring to see Sophie in those trailers. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. But I mean, Celine's song has absolutely nothing to do with advertising, you know?
Sure. Sure.
Um, you could probably count on one hand the amount of directors who have the power to dictate what their trailers are going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's from the advertising side. And I think, yeah, it's completely wrong to sell your movie as this one thing when it's not that. And then specifically when the movie goes into some dark territory. But I mean, I don't know. Like as I mean, this is if this was a rom-com, I feel like that side plot would be really out of place. I don't remember how I felt watching Hitch when they do that.
Yeah.
Hitch was also from the two male leads perspective, so I really don't remember how that plays out,
Yeah.
especially by today's standards. But I mean, I don't know, like it's something traumatic that affected multiple people. Unfortunately, the main victim of it was not the lead of your movie, so we don't spend too much time on that. I will agree that it's it is I do wish Lucy it had affected Lucy a little more. Like we do see how her it kind of breaks her out of her mold. That's when she starts questioning things. And that's when even when she has a talk with the CEO and she's like, "Has this happened before?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's happened to all of us." You
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, "Damn. Okay." It really starts showing you the dark side of that. And to me, we see some of the more comedic parts of this movie, like when we're seeing the clientele. And it's like we're laughing at it because it's so ridiculous, but also so true. And that's why I think it hits even harder that scene when the CEO says, like, all of us has a client that's happened to before.
Mm.
Because that's to me, that's kind of where like it kind of grounds everything. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I don't know. Could they have done something differently? Yeah, I mean, for sure, but they chose not to, and I don't know what else they could have done because what's worse than that other than a
Well,
murder?
well, I'm not.
You know what I mean? Like
Sure,
I
sure.
don't know what
Like,
else they could have done to have they used it as a way to progress Lucy's story. What else could they have done that wasn't as traumatic or whatever we want to call it, uh, um, to get the same effect out of Lucy? You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
I don't know. And also maybe that's just the story they wanted to tell for whatever reason, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it's the story that they ended up telling. So, there's no way to
yeah,
change that,
yeah.
you know.
And I'm very I as well, if you can't tell with this conversation, I struggle with scenes and content like that because it's a truly just horrible act. Um and I don't want to see it used as a trope either. But at
Hmm.
the same time, I'm very aware that I'm a straight man critiquing this movie, and the last thing I would want to do is to say, "Oh, this doesn't belong here." It's different if I'm talking to something more generalized or something I can't like if I'm speaking about the Mexican culture and the way that's portrayed. Yeah, I can give my 2 cents on that. You
Sure.
know, but
Sure.
something that I don't have experience with and something that affects so many people. I don't want to live in a world where those stories aren't told just because it makes people uncomfortable or because we're afraid to do it poorly, to portray in poorly. Now, as a
Sure. Yeah.
man, I absolutely wouldn't even, try to attempt that
Hmm.
unless I do a lot of research. But yeah, so I don't know. They could have done something differently, but that's the route they chose. I think we got an amazing performance out of what's her name? Zoe
Zoe
Winters?
Winters. Yeah.
Out of Zoe Winters. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's just my thoughts. And I think what helps is they didn't portray it. I don't feel like they wrote it off. I was kind of afraid they were because we don't see Zoe for a long time after
Hmm.
that's revealed. And I was kind of afraid, oh, we wouldn't touch on it again. But the fact that they did bring her back and she does get her scene where she gets to tell off Lucy, I think that kind of helps it for me as well. Because it's one thing for your protagonist just to not like really feel the ramifications. She doesn't even have to deal with the legal side of it.
Hmm.
So that's what I was afraid that they were going to do. But I'm glad they did it. And I'm glad they gave Lucy the that urge to want to fix things. It was a little cheesy that she's in her detective coat, trying
Yeah.
to remain hidden.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm glad that they still pursued her for as terrible as a person Lucy says she is, there was still something in her that cared for Sophie, you know,
Yeah.
and she wanted to do whatever it could she could to fix it or to just help her. So I'm glad. I think they could have done this a really that storyline could have went poorly, but I don't think it did. So,
Mm.
but I mean, that's my
All right.
take, and that's something I think everyone's going to have takes on, and I'm pretty sure that storyline may be another reason why this movie is reviewed so low. Because again, they were going in expecting one thing and not expecting that.
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this I think this movie it was a good solid flick. It was just a smorgasbord of things that didn't really quite click together,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to the advertising.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that definitely hurt, especially for A24. They could have sold it in a bit more A24 way. I think they could have easily sold this as kind of like what you were saying, more adult relationship,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, uh, or actually focus on the materialistic side of things.
Hmm.
Their trailers kind of did it in a tongue-in-cheek kind of, Sex in the City kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I But I was gonna say, last thing, I think my favorite scene in the movie though was that final scene with Pedro Pascal. Like
Yeah.
I love like how vulnerable he gets, and then I did think it was a little cheesy, but it was kind of cute and sweet when he does like lower himself to like his old height.
Hmm.
And I really like what he was saying though, and he's like, before because he has the surgery to get extra 6 inches. He's like, before I had that, women wouldn't even talk to me, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
I was expecting to say like, yeah, but you're also really rich. So
Yeah.
there's that side of me where like I could only feel bad for you so much. Um, but I was also kind of expecting and hoping, but they never bring it up. But he would also say like, what's that do to his status like amongst other men as well? Because
Hmm.
the height thing isn't just from a dating perspective, but that's what
Hmm.
this movie is about,
But
you
I
know?
mean, he did address that because he mentions like the dating thing like at the end of having said that, that he got the surgery. The first thing he says was that, in the office building, people
Oh,
looked at
yeah.
him different. And he
Yeah.
said, and then at restaurants and at airports,
Hmm.
they look at you differently.
Hmm.
And it helps that, you know, I've
Yeah.
never not scored, since. And it's like, okay, yeah, like
Yeah.
obviously, like, yes, like that part of it is the materialistic side. But the
Yeah.
other part of it is angling the materialism at other people and at society at large, where it's just like,
Hmm.
yeah, everybody in the office building is gonna be looking at the taller guy.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter that he's rich, it doesn't matter that he's rich working at the company that his mother built.
Hmm.
If he's short, they don't care.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, like I appreciated what that scene did,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Uh I'm just like, come on, you can't fake it. You can't fake that love for Pedro Pascal. Come on.
I know, right?
Look at those
Yeah.
eyes. Look at
Yeah.
that face. No,
But like it
get
did
out of
make
here.
it made sense, and I'm like, yeah, like I think I don't I struggle with Dakota Johnson's acting
Hmm.
because I do think I'm not going to say she's a bad actor. I think she's good, especially in specific roles. Like I think she did really well here.
Hmm.
But especially in that scene, like I gotta praise Pedro Pascal, man. Like I think he did an excellent job at portraying that infatuation without
Hmm.
being love, you know?
Hmm.
And he portrayed thinking he was in love, but not really. Like
Yeah.
I thought his performance was perfect and it was just vulnerable enough. Um, and also he was just smooth enough. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh dude, you believe that he's that unicorn. I'm like, damn, he did
Hmm.
so good, you know? Um, I love that scene where I think it's one of the last dinners they have before they go serious, before they go steady or whatever.
Hmm.
Back when we were middle school, it's called going around the world.
What?
Yeah, we're going around the world together. That means we're officially boyfriend and girlfriend.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Do you want to go around the world with me?
That's
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That was middle
Huh.
school. Dude, that's crazy. Wow.
Okay.
Man, what was that? 90s? 90s were something.
That
So
that's
the
pretty
last
cringe.
scene when they decide to go around the world together, uh, I
Oh.
I I can forgive the general thin characterizations here because some of the dialogue was just so sharp, you
Hmm.
know? And I love that. She's like, so what do you want to feel? Valuable. She's like, you are valuable. And I'm like, oh, I feel valuable just watching this scene. Like, oh,
Hmm.
man. Yeah, yeah. Solid
Well,
flick. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna rate this one though.
mm,
I honestly I'm clueless. Yeah. I might just heart it on Letterbox. I don't
wow.
know.
Yeah,
So, but I'm
you
so
could.
behind on Letterbox. I'll think about this in like 6 months.
I know you just got through all your Christmas ones,
I
and
just got to 2026,
I'm
dude.
like, well, I can't wait until this Christmas when you get through the movies from like January to March.
I know. I know. Maybe by summer or maybe by Christmas I'll get to the Materialists.
Jeez.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
there you have it, listeners.
what an episode. I'm
What an
exhausted.
episode. Yeah. Yeah. Lots to talk about.
So, next week, I'm not going to tell you too much, but we're going to have a guest.
Hmm.
neither samurai really know what to expect. So this
I
is
had
gonna be
like a
fun.
vague idea from what the email said,
I
right?
have a vague idea, so we'll find
Okay.
out. And then I think we're gonna play timing wise. I don't know if we're gonna get Dad the episode after, or we're just gonna do another movie. So let's just roll for it anyway.
Okay. I got my die. Oop. Let me
Oh, damn it.
what?
I was going to try and fit in as many Olivia Rodrigo song titles into this as I could, but
Mm.
I just couldn't. I didn't figure it out.
Wow. All right, Matt.
Yeah.
I rolled a natural 20.
Ooh, another 20?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a
Let,
fun one.
let's
Because
freaking go.
I know you have seen this one and I have not.
Ooh, okay.
We are watching, I think this is considered a cult classic by this point. Shane Black's 2016 The Nice Guys.
Oh. Oh. Hell yeah.
Everyone just tells me how much fun this movie is. I
Hell
love
yeah.
both Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
finally time I go, figure this out.
We're gonna go around the world
We're gonna go around the world
with the nice
with the
guys.
nice guys.
Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Join us next week where we're gonna have surprise mystery guest on, and we're gonna have a wild time. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
As always, check us out. #Lost Legacies. Also, send an email. Email should be down in the description below wherever you're listening to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, until then, get lost.
Get lost.